Hey guys, welcome to or welcome back to my channel. If it's your first time here, hi, my name is Kelly and I paint a lot. That's what my whole channel is. So today I decided that since yesterday was the first day of fall that I wanted to start a fall sketchbook. Originally I have been sitting on the sketchbook that I got from Sketchbook & Co. It's a very Halloween fall themed sketchbook and I've been holding on to it for like 2 years thinking I'm going to do something really amazing in it and it's going to be like an Inktober sketchbook, but I decided that it's just going to be a fall sketchbook and I wanted to start it now. And you know, hopefully I'll be able to finish it before the winter so I just stay on theme. So yeah, that's what I'm doing today. And for the first spread, I decided to make a title page and I kind of wanted like spooky cottagecore vibes going into this sketchbook. So that's what I decided to go with. I decided to do a bottle, some mushrooms, some greenery, and then for the label I decided to put a bat on it to kind of give it that spooky twist to the cottagecore theme. I have to be honest, there's a part of me that's got like a lot of FOMO going on right now because everybody's like getting ready for Inktober and like I really wanted to participate and I thought maybe I could do like a mini Inktober and just do like a bunch of teeny tiny 2x3 portraits and stuff, but I ultimately decided against it and the main goal for the rest of the year is to just get my Magical Shit zine project finished and printed and ready to go, and I can always do a 30-day challenge later on. Like I can do one in November if I want, but right now my main goal is to finish that project because I don't want to take it into 2024 with me. I think the 3-year mark is just enough for that zine. Like I need to stop babying it, and honestly there's been a lot of self-sabotage going on, which I'm not a huge fan of. I had a couple posts go a little viral on Instagram and suddenly I had a bunch of followers over there. So I just really started like having a lot of imposter syndrome and just really struggling. So I decided to just take the pressure off, finish my project, and then that way I can go into the new year with new projects and finish a bunch of stuff that I wanted to do. Like in October, I want to do the thrift store ghost painting trend and finish the zine. So there should be plenty of weeks in between now and then for me to get all of that done. So I'm really excited to finish the zine and get all of that work completely done and just go into the new year with like a clean slate. So aside from updating you on all of that, I really didn't have anything to talk about for this video. So I went on Instagram stories and just kind of asked for questions. So I'm just going to take this video as an opportunity to answer them. Okay, so the first question is that Kyle would like to know what is my favorite part of fall. I think it's all my favorite, if I'm being honest. I love the weather. In my state, it's usually 60, 70 degrees, which is, you know, hoodie weather, bonfire weather, coffee weather, you know, cozy up with a blanket weather. I don't have to have the heat or air on, so the windows are just completely open and my house smells really good that way. Halloween, spooky movies, paranormal TV shows. I just love it all, if I'm being honest. I absolutely love fall. It is my favorite season, and I know that's a little basic for a lot of people, but the air just smells so crisp and everything just feels so clean, like it's about to just be a complete clean state. And the order of my seasons, I think, is definitely fall, winter, spring, summer. Like I really don't care for the heat, so. Okay, second question. Katie would like to know what got me into my art style. If I'm being honest, it really just started to develop, and it started to develop when I decided to only paint things that I liked. For a while, I was really trying to just kind of break algorithms and do trending things, and I feel like I really got into the groove and really enjoyed making art when I started painting everything that I liked. And, you know, it's basically like nature, dark, earthy things. I love spooky things. I like painting folklore, though I do find that a bit challenging because there's obviously not a lot of reference for that. But yeah, no, it started to develop when I started to paint things that I enjoy. And I'm not sure if it's like an official style yet. Like people say that all the time, like I really like your art style, and I always feel like it's not fully developed yet. So I'm really excited to see where I'm gonna be next year with my art style. The next question is, what or who inspired you? As far as people go, I'm a huge fan of Tim Burton. I'm just a really big fan of Tim Burton. I very, very much like his work. I don't know why my mind's drawing a blank for other artists, but I really like, I like the dark, earthy, spooky vibe. And now that I feel like it's okay to do that, that's just what I keep doing. I'm inspired by a lot of things. So usually I go on these walks usually every evening, and just being outside, it has a feeling that just kind of like every time I'm walking around, I just kind of see a lot of greenery and stuff like that. And paintings just come to me on walks. I don't really know how to explain it. I don't really have like an official inspiration for anything. I tend to not really look at other artists for inspiration. It's more like a vibe that I'm going for, and I like to take inspiration from the things around me. I'm not sure if that answered that good enough, but that's all I got right now. Ooh, I really like this question. Team apple or team pumpkin for pie and drink? So for pie, I am a pumpkin pie junkie. I prefer that pie. That's actually, if I'm being honest, it's the only pie I eat. I'm not like a big fruit pie type of person. I'm an ice cream girl. So pumpkin pie is the only kind of pie I like. As far as the drink goes, I do not like pumpkin spice at all. I am team cider all the way. As far as like coffee drinks, I'm a mocha girl. I like mocha and peppermint mocha, even though peppermint mocha is kind of like a Christmas vibe, winter vibe. I definitely prefer cider to pumpkin pie spice anything. I really don't care for the flavor of it. I like the smell of it. So I have a lot of pumpkin spice, candles. Like the one that's going in this video is pumpkin spice. So that's where I stand with the apple or pumpkin decision. Ooh, this is a good one. Favorite old Halloween movies. I would have to say, I'm not sure if it's like a Halloween movie, but like The Sixth Sense is still something I enjoy to watch. I like the M. Night Shyamalan movies. I'm kind of more of like a paranormal kind of movie person, though I don't really watch Halloween movies per se. I am kind of more along the lines of I will watch spooky shows, like ghost hunter shows, like Finding Bigfoot, The Curse of Oak Island really gets me. Paranormal Witness is my favorite spooky show, and I love starting it in September until Thanksgiving, and then I switch to Christmas vibes. But yeah, I'm more of a paranormal supernatural girl. Like I don't really watch like gory Halloween movies, if that makes sense. I prefer the paranormal to like slasher films. So I can't really, it's not so much that I can't watch them. I just, there's just a lot of people running around, and I like kind of like the suspense and thrill of like ghost stories is my vibe. Okay, this is a good one. How has art and life affected you over the last few years? I really don't know how to answer this. I'm going to do the best I can. I don't really think art has affected me. Life has really been rough the last few years. COVID hit. My kids were really struggling with school and everything and with the lockdown. I mean, I'm an introvert, so it didn't really affect me much because I don't really like to go out and see the people kind of thing. This summer has been the worst. I lost 2 of my dogs, and they were just my people. And you go from seeing them every day and hearing, you know, like pitter patter of paws and barking and all of this stuff, and then all of a sudden it's really quiet. I do have one of my dogs left who's actually older than the 2 that passed away, so that was a little bit shocking. But as far as art goes, like how it's affected my life, I mean, it's all positive. I mean, it gets really challenging at times where you're really trying to find your voice as an artist. But I do feel like when you trend things that you like, it tends to work out a little bit better for you, and it's a lot more relaxing than it is stressful. I mean, there are challenges and problems that you run into with art, and, you know, there's always going to be something you need to work more on, you know, like anatomy. Like I have never really done a portrait, so that's something that's kind of like on my bucket list. But I feel like it's all good. I feel like art helps me kind of work through a lot of things that are going on in my life, like therapy-wise. Even if it's not coming through in the art, I feel like just making art itself is very therapeutic, and, you know, just doing stuff with my hands and focusing on things like that really quiets my brain. And for that, I'm really grateful. So yeah, I mean, like it's all good. Life has been rough. I'm not gonna lie there. But it's slowly starting to get better. So I'm just gonna ride the gravy train, not gravy train, but ride the good vibes while they're here, and use art to work through bad times when they come. And the next question is, Rachel would like to know my music taste. Oh, music taste. I listen to a little bit of everything. There's usually a couple bands from each genre that I tend to navigate towards. Currently, I am listening to Bad Omens recently. I don't really vibe with everything, but there are a few songs that I really like. Mariana's Trench is a band that I've loved for a while, and I don't really, I haven't met anything of theirs that I haven't liked, so I like to listen to that when I'm vibing. But you know, like, I mean, Taylor Swift is just a really good storyteller, and I don't know if I'm intrigued by the storytelling or the music or just the way she goes about things, but I find her fascinating, so I do listen to her stuff, and partly because my daughter really likes her, so it's just kind of like a given in my house. But I listen to a lot of classic rock, like on Pandora, so I usually get down to that. I like classic rock. And then I tend to favor the 90s station on Pandora, you know, which is a lot of, you know, One Headlight, like just old, kind of like alternative. Like I'm not like officially a rock person, but I do like alternative more, like a lot of band, like Fall Out Boy, I really like them. There's a bunch of stuff I like. I don't really get down with the huge popular stuff sometimes, but some of it just gets stuck in your head. I'm really trying to think of some of my favorites it's funny when somebody asks you that, it's like your brain just stops working. I listen to a lot of stuff. I don't really care for country anymore. I feel like I grew up on country, and it's just kind of like I finally have my own musical listening identity now, so I tend to kind of veer off. But other than that, I mean, like, I don't listen to classical music or anything like that, but I do tend to listen to kind of like alternative music and then some poppy stuff. But classic rock's always a good one to put on when like you're just working and painting or like cleaning the house and stuff. I'm really kind of more of like a podcast person. I tend to listen to podcasts and audiobooks when I'm painting or walking or doing anything. It really kind of depends on the mood that I'm in. But my favorite podcast right now is actually Spooked. And I think that's because it's very similar to Paranormal Witness, like the TV show. Like when people are telling ghost stories to the camera, and I usually have that on for like background noise because you can listen to it. And the Spooked podcast is very the same vibe. So you don't have to watch anything and you just listen to it. So I really enjoy that lately. But yeah, as far as that goes, I mean, I listen to a little bit of everything. I don't know if that summed it up or not, but hopefully the couple names of the bands I've been listening to has helped you out a little bit. So those are the questions that I deemed appropriate to answer. A lot of them were just random, inappropriate things that you should never message to women, so I'm just going to leave it at that. But anyway, so let's talk about this painting a little bit, and I had a lot of fun with it. I really kind of like the cottagecore vibes with like a spooky twist, so I think that's going to be the theme of the sketchbook, and I'm actually pretty excited about it. I'm getting a lot of inspiration, and as fall's coming in, there's going to be a lot of changing scenery around me, so I think this is going to be a really, really cool sketchbook. You know what I might be able to do is that I bought Minnie Small's 30-day sketchbook project book that she just released not too long ago. So once my Magical Shit zine is done, maybe we can work through that with this sketchbook. That would be a lot of fun, and just kind of keep the cottagecore spooky vibe, and then just kind of do the prompts that come along with the book. We'll see how that goes. I would love to know any answers to the questions that I just answered that you guys might have, because I am interested in all of these questions. So if you want to answer any of them, leave it down in the comments, because I am generally curious. The two I want to know most is if you're Team Apple or Team Pumpkin, and the second is Halloween movies or spooky shows. I would love to know where you guys all stand with that, because I feel like I'm kind of like a weirdo for not watching Halloween movies during October and just staying on the paranormal TV show route, because that's just my vibe, and I would just love to know if you guys are into that, and if you have new shows to recommend, I would love to hear those also. Okay, so since I still have some time left, I'm going to talk about the books that I've been reading and the shows I've been watching, just to kind of fill up the time here and to see if you guys have read or watched any of these things. So as far as books go, I have one that's kind of self-helpy because I was just in a really self-sabotagey state, and that one is The Mountain of You, or The Mountain is You. I don't have it in front of me, so I don't know who the author is, but I tell you what, I didn't read the whole thing straight out. Like, I tend to read a chapter when I can feel myself falling back into the self-sabotage mode, which I tend to revert to when I get a little scared when things are going good, which I know is totally weird and obnoxious, but that's just the way my mind works. I'm not sure what happens there. I don't know if it's like an insecurity or what, but I'm telling you, this book is definitely, every time I read a chapter, I feel so much better, and I'm like, yeah, I can do this. So I definitely highly recommend that one if you are stuck in a self-sabotage loop like myself. And then what I've been reading for fun is I am currently on book 3 of the Lady of Darkness series, and I absolutely love it. The books are bricks, but I am enjoying them so much. The main character is just chef's kiss. I just absolutely adore her. So that one, and then I did read, well, technically I listened to Dorinda Jones's last one called The Grave Robber, and it's technically a novella, but it's in the Charlie Davis Charlie Davidson series that I was talking about probably a couple years ago. And that one is a 13-book series, but all these novellas are kind of coming for kind of like the spin-off that's going to happen. And I adore Dorinda Jones. I've loved everything that she has written, especially if it's narrated by Lorelei King. She is just an audiobook narrating goddess. I will, like, that's just facts at this point. Like, I really don't know what else to say. If you haven't listened to a book by her, definitely listen to a book narrated by her, because her voice is just so good. And I think that's all I've read as far as books go. I tried to read listen to the third Kingdom of the Wicked book, and I really have a hard time with the third books in series, and I'm not sure why that is. I struggled with A Court of Thorns and Roses, the third book, From Blood and Ash, the third book, and I just don't know if there's just so much happening that I get overwhelmed or not. But so fingers crossed the Lady of Darkness third book goes good for me, because I really like the story. And as far as shows go, I have been watching Expedition Unknown with Josh Gates. I'm a big wow, I'm a stutter, apparently. I'm a big fan of Josh Gates. I loved Destination Truth. I'm not sure how the switch happened and he ended up being Expedition Unknown, but he's a very interesting storyteller, and I very much enjoy watching any show that he's in. And then the second one, I watched a little bit of Ghost Nation and Paranormal Caught on Camera, which I love. And then the new one, which is shocking to me, but I kind of stumbled onto a show called Storm Chasers. And it's basically like Twister, but like with a Kardashians twist to it. It's like got a reality TV version of Twister to it, and there's so much drama involved with these guys that just chase tornadoes, and I swear I don't know why I enjoy it, because I think I'm just fascinated with the tornadoes, because honestly a couple of the main dudes, especially I think the IMAX filmmaker, really gets on my nerves. But it's funny to see all of the egos that just get in the way of them coming together and just working together and just getting all of this stuff and using each other as resources. So it's just kind of like a lot of, I'm the alpha dog, I got here first, but it would have went better if they had all worked together. So I don't know what it is about that show, but I got sucked into it, and I just keep watching it. I'm not sure if I like it or if I don't like it, but it's fascinating to me. So I started watching that, and let me know if you've seen it, because that's the one I'm most curious about, especially if you feel the same as far as the egos go. Anyway, before I get too carried away, I just wanted to let you know that there's a new free wallpaper in the cellar, and I will put a link to that in the video description. Anyway, here's the final close-up. I hope you guys had fun watching me paint this and answering your questions. Happy fall, and thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.